what I'd like to get into first is the philosophy of online dating. Now, I know you're like, damn it, just give me the techniques, give me the profile, give me the messages, let me go get cracking. And I appreciate that attitude. I would be thinking the same thing myself. But I want you to understand that coming from this correct philosophy is going to make everything else make sense. It's going to make everything else work, okay? You need to understand a little bit about the world of online dating, what a girl's going through online, how you can set yourself apart, and what most guys do wrong. Once you understand that, every other technique that we're going to show you is going to make so much more sense, and you're going to understand where it comes from, right? So if you're like sort of just mindlessly implementing the techniques, you will get results because the techniques themselves are good. But if you're implementing them with understanding, that's when you're going to get truly excellent results, okay? So let's talk a little bit about online dating, how it works, what it is. So to start out, I want you to imagine for a second that you are a hot girl online and think about how much you're getting hit up. Just to give you an example, there was a girl I dated several years ago, and she was in Playboy and Maxim, and she primarily dated online. And after, once we were done dating and we were just friends, I was actually over at her place. I logged onto my online account, and actually by accident I logged onto her online account, and I browsed around for a couple of minutes before I realized the mistake I had made. And it just so happened she'd been inactive on that account for a little bit, and in 5 minutes of activity, putting her like at the top of search and showing people she was online, she had over 200 messages in her inbox from just 5 minutes of activity, okay? Now that's an extreme example because that is a girl that literally is paid to be hot. But you understand, even for a normal girl, even a girl that's just merely, fairly cute girl next door, they're getting so many messages. They're getting bombarded by so many guys trying to get something from them. And so it is absolutely paramount that you set yourself apart. It's actually more important that you set yourself apart than that the girls like you. I would rather that you get a negative response from a girl, but get her attention, than to get no response at all. Because you can turn around a negative response, but you can't turn around a nothing response, okay? So it's very important. Stand out at all costs. Very, very critical. Next thing I want to point out to you, what is your most valuable resource in online dating? Well, it's your time, okay? There is, not really an infinite number of girls online, but a ton. There are tons and tons of girls online. You could message, if you wanted to spend your day messaging all day, especially in a major city, you literally could message all day long, right? If I wanted to do that, I could spend 24/7 either messaging or having girls come to date me. And I'd have such a backlog of dates, it would be ridiculous. So there's always more girls available to you online. There's always new ones signing up every single hour of every single day. So what you get from any one girl who at this point is a stranger to you isn't so important. But what is important is that you get a variety of responses from a lot of different girls, and then you can pick and choose the ones you like. And where this really applies is when we start talking about messaging. A lot of guys will spend a ton of time reading a girl's profile. They will spend half an hour concocting an email to who they believe is their dream girl, and then they send this email, and who knows, that girl's account might not even still be active. There's a chance that girl will never read that email that you spent half an hour sending. Instead, if you have either some copy and paste emails or some formats that you've come up with where you can come up with emails very quickly, you could be sending within a half an hour probably 100 or hundreds of emails out and getting responses from girls that are actually active. And yes, your response rate per email may go down a little bit, but it'll be less of a drop than you'd think, and you will have sent hundreds of times as many emails. So you're going to get probably at least 20 or 30 times as many responses and 20 or 30 times as many dates. So that we find is a much better approach. We've tried both approaches, and that's what tends to work and tends to get you real abundance from online. So understand that everything we do is about being time efficient and maximizing your amount of girls and quality of girls per hour, not per message. Okay? If you are laborious over your messages, it will not work. Now, once a girl's actually messaging you back, that changes a little bit. If she's messaging you back, showing interest, now you have a warm lead. And you can sit down and actually spend some time on it. But understand, you don't want to be spending a lot of time on girls that haven't shown interest in you yet. That's just wasting away your time. Lastly, let's talk quickly about what is an attractive man. Now, as someone who's been a dating coach for over 12 years now, this is a topic I could probably go for hours and hours and hours on. But right now, I'm just going to give you kind of the quick and dirty, what it takes to be an attractive man. Okay, so what everybody basically wants in dating is this. They want the person that they don't deserve, who for some reason finds them special. Think about that for a second. That's probably what you want in a girl as well, right? You want a girl that is a little hotter than you probably feel worthy of, But at the same time, you don't want a girl who's going to treat you like shit and cheat on you and not give you the time of day and just, not have any care in the relationship. So you kind of want that girl that's a little up there, but for some reason you feel like there's a special connection of some kind. Even more so for girls, because girls, they care even more about that sort of connection because, just evolution-wise on the savannah, having someone to raise the kids with them is more meaningful to them and more of a matter of life and death than it is for guys. So that matters more for them. But understand the first part as well, because this is what most guys get wrong online. They want the guy they don't deserve, okay? They want the guy who has a lot of options, who's not needy, who, when they're with you, they feel like they won. They feel like they excelled and exceeded what they were supposed to get. In order to do this, you cannot appear needy and try hard. If you're doing things like writing first messages that are like several paragraphs long, that shows you're way too invested in someone you haven't met, and it shows that you probably don't have a lot of options, right? It also shows you don't value your time in other ways. You're not, busy running a business or busy having a life that you love, right? Or if you, you message a girl and then if she doesn't message back, you're immediately like messaging her 5 minutes later wondering why she hasn't messaged back. That looks incredibly needy. It makes it look like, again, you don't have anything else going on in your life, you don't have any other options, and that will turn a girl off faster than just about anything else, okay? So the frame you want to be coming from, the idea that you want to be putting out there is, I am an amazing guy who loves his life, I'm inviting you into it if you'd like to be a part of it, and if you do, it'll be great. If not, I'll be okay. Okay, that's kind of the philosophy you want to have, and that's what's going to intrigue girls and make them chase you rather than turning them off, okay? So always remember, it's your world, you're inviting her into it, and your world is an amazing place. Not, can I please weasel my way into your world? Can you please just tell me about you and I'm going to offer no value, right? That's the other thing guys do wrong, is they don't convey their personality. They just try and get to know the girl. The girl does want to get to know you, and she does want you to get to know her, but only once she's assessed that you're worthy of getting to know. Again, remember, she's getting hit up by hundreds of guys who are trying to get to know her and who have no idea what to say, and so they're just trying to like ask anything, right? And so while she may want to connect with you, that's not going to stand you apart. She's going to look at your email in her inbox along with 20 others that say the same thing, and she's going to be like, well, boring, on to the next, okay? So you must stand out, and you must be what we call a high-value man. You must be a man who has his own life that he loves first, and then you're inviting the girl into it second. So we're going to talk throughout the program about how to create that frame and control that frame in the interaction, all right? All right, so without further ado, let's get onwards towards the profile, which is the most important thing you can do in your online dating experience.